The tutorial you're now watching has been part of a mega tutorial. In case you hear any reference to that, this is why. But now, without further ado, let's get going with this tutorial. We are going to start with the basics, and I know this game or these types of games can be very overwhelming. You're staring at a big green canvas in front of you, and the first thing I would recommend to do, and you've just seen, I have already done this because it's always so in my muscle memory, is hit pause. I also did relocate my keys. Usually in this game, when you start it the first time, the spacebar will be your pause and unpause button. I actually changed this because I'm so used to having this set for angle snap. We're going to talk about angle snap in a different part of this tutorial or in a later tutorial, depending on if you're watching this as a one or in steps. And you can remap this obviously on in the settings, which I really do recommend if you're already used to having spacebar as a angle snap and P as pause button. Now, once this is done, to make you guys feel so comfortable, and honestly, this is the most important thing about building in these types of games, make yourself comfortable before you go, because everything can be so overwhelming. You go down here or press the N button, and then this little set lighting bubble pops up, or the window pops up. Now, set this to on and go to a time of day that you really enjoy in terms of the lighting. I think I'm gonna go for, actually, 1 p.m. is good, a little German in me. 1 p.m. is good. We're going to start with 1 p.m. And this makes me feel already so much better because I see everything is nice. The second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make myself the map feel very nice. Therefore, the first tool we are learning in the basics is the demolish tool. Yes, before we create something, we first of all demolish something. Just as a little explainer, you have all the different settings, what you can delete. So if you set all filters to off and you say, I wanna have only lakes, for example, you can brush over whatever you want and you will not delete anything. But if you go over lake, the lake is gone. But if you turn on all the filters, you can basically delete everything. So just as a bulldoze tool, you would expect it to be. And also, as you may have seen, you already deleted the entrance as well, but fear not, you can build your own spawn points and so on. We are going to do this in today's tutorial. I mean, you've seen what we are having later on, so you know that there is a spawn point. And this is a very nice green canvas for us, okay? So a couple of things might need to be done, but in order to see where we can build, you can click the top left where you have the park expansion. That's a new feature in this game, and you can see which land you are owning at the moment. Since this is Sandbox and we are basically owning the maximum space available anyways, this is not expandable, but you can see that this is exactly the area we can build in. Very nice visualization of where to build. I want to build a bit more in the middle, and for a basic tutorial I want to give you the basics of the game. I'm not going to go through all the menus because you'll find out yourself, and some menus are just important at the very end in a management tutorial or in a scenery tutorial. So basically I'm just explaining where you find what, and then we'll go from here. So the basic menu, as you can see to your bottom of your screen, will give you a couple of indicators. This is where you find all the different things you need. This is basically all the content, and this is where all the tools sit over here to the bottom left. So this is where you have the path, the scenery, the terrain, the demolish, and multi-select. And you also have a tool that you can use while clicking on the Alt key, and it will bring up the radial menu, which is always context-based. And I think this is one of the few console editions I really love having in the PC edition now. By the way, if you're watching this on console, everything I explain will work exactly the same way on console. The only thing is I cannot tell you exactly the buttons simply because they're not shown. So you will also have a key for bringing up the radial menu. Just please check which key that is, and then you'll be able to open menus quickly and so on. Now, before we do anything else, we just need to get rid of all this confusion where certain things want to go or so. So I highly recommend, as for the basics, the first thing you do after you've made yourself confident is set which camera setting you want. There are different camera settings in this game. So the first camera setting is the one you're greeted with as of right of the game. So let's focus on this kind of stone texture in the center. And if I now rotate my camera, you can see I'm rotating around this central rock over here. If I press T on my keyboard or I press on the camera key down here, you will change the camera mode. Now you've seen there was a full camera setup now, and if I do rotate again, you can see now I'm rotating around myself. So basically the main difference is that one camera centers around the focus and the other centers around yourself basically. I do prefer the ones around myself because it just gives me that more control to fly where I want to. Holding down the shift key will allow you to fly a bit quicker, and going WASD will help you maneuver, and holding the right mouse key lets you drag your screen around. Unfortunately, this game does not come with edge scrolling anymore. I really hope that they will fix this later on, so maybe in the future tutorial this is part of the game, but at the moment it's not. So this is what you need to know. And then to the top of the screen we have the heat maps. We'll talk about them very late in the tutorial or in a different tutorial depending on what you're watching, because they need a certain setup to work. So at the moment the heat maps basically don't show anything, which is obviously clear because we don't have done anything now. So the next part for the basics is down here, the very bottom part of your screen. So you can see my money as unlimited because I don't want to have to struggle in here, but usually you see how much money you have over here, how many guests, what the rating of the park is, then you have which day you have, and if you unpause you can also see the time of day, and then to the right hand side you have another weather tab. If you open that real quick, you'll get a day overview and the next 2 days in advance as well. It's going to tell you we have winter at the moment, pendling between 17 and 22 degrees, and we've got fully sun until 11, and then it goes into a bit more cloudy, a bit more light rain this afternoon, and some windy stuff. And the next coming days might also bring certain weather, certain things, you know. And this already brings me to the last part of the basics, because honestly you're already pretty good to go, but I always recommend to plan things ahead. Okay, so we've talked about all the different features. We will quickly talk about the scenery brush in a second for this basic tutorial, but planning things ahead is so important, and I love to do this with the terrain tool. So if you go into the terrain tool, you can basically avoid all the terrain icons over here. We're going to talk about them when we need them, but you can do this with the painting tool. And now as we have so many new painting options, it's going to make life so much more simple. So you're going to choose a very distinct one to what you want to do, and I'm going to go for sand. I increase the intensity and I'm going to make this a little bigger because I just want to get an idea. So my idea is, whoops, I'm just going to fly back in here. So my idea was that we're going to take an area down here where we have like a helipad, you know. This is going to be where we have a helipad from which the people are coming in. Not sure if there is a heli in this game. We're definitely not going to build one, but we're going to pretend that this is a helipad as like in the Jurassic Park area. And then we're going to have like a little bit of a kettle pan style path over here, so that just like goes like so. I don't know, this may be where the area is in here. And then we got our entrance to our park area in here. It's going to be our entrance. This will be where we learn the scenery building. Okay, so this is going to be very much focused on scenery building here. And also if we fancy doing this, we can then over here, this is the entrance area. From over here we are going to choose a compact dirt. Is that distinct enough? It is. So from over here we can basically paint out what we want to do. So basically I want to have like a swoop-in path that goes over here, and another one that goes in another extent to the other side. So this is pretty much it. And then obviously this all shall be a bit more like a plaza, you know, but just giving me an idea. It's not going to be how exactly it's going to look. I just want to plan things ahead to have a feeling where I need to do certain things. So then I may have some pools over here. So there goes a pool, and maybe there goes a pool. Again, it's not going to be important if it is exactly this. It shall just give you an idea what you want to do, because that certainly helps you while building. I'm going to use the rock to say, okay, I'm going to have like a roller coaster over here. I don't know what type of roller coaster that's going to be, but just going to pretend there is like a roller coaster layout over here. Bam, there you go. We've got a roller coaster. Okay, so this is set over here. And then in this central area, we may have our staff facilities. Let's therefore get the soil, and then we're going to make like a bit of a facility area here, where we also have some power and stuff next to it, because obviously power is a requirement that we need to tackle with, you know. This is kind of how we want to build this. And that's almost already our setup, what we needed. Maybe we're going to put like a flat ride somewhere in here in the middle, you know, to block the view. This can be like a flat ride potentially. And then we can also have like another track ride that goes somewhere else. You know, just kind of take the moss and have like a different type of ride over here, just like so. And then if we want to find out where we want to put our, let's say, slides, for example, because we haven't done those, we take our pebbles and then we can say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to have some slides here and then maybe a rounded one that goes here, whatever. Okay, so this is that, looks very fancy, but this is how I usually plan things ahead, to have like a little bit of an idea where certain things go, because that will enable you a lot to make sure what you want to build. As promised, the last bit we are going to do in the basics is check out the scenery brush, because I feel like this has become a basic of the game. It was so much more of a building thing in the older games, but now it is so much more powerful. So basically what it does, it gives you the ability to paint things easily. So we are in the tropical area, so let's go for tropical, and then we've got tropical trees large. You can increase the intensity, you can increase the size, and then you can basically paint the foliage just as you can do this in Jurassic World Evolution. Looking at that, I get these Jurassic World Evolution vibes over here, not gonna lie. So you can also say, okay, maybe that's too intense for me, but I want to have like a bigger size. And then I'm gonna say align to surface, yes, and then we can just paint some more. And you can see now the trees are a lot more spread out. So this is how you can create certain areas that you want to make look different, okay? And if you want to have like small plants, you can just plop them in front of it to just make this whole area look kind of already filled in. And we can make the size now very big, so to just have a very large area that we can cover with it. I'm like not very happy with this. Let's increase the intensity and make like a huge kind of forest behind. This is just so much more simple to enclose the area right away. Just paint a couple things here, and our main area is already settled. And look, we are gone from a green canvas looking like nothing in 10-ish minutes to have a very good plan of what we want to do. On the way here, we have learned how to move the camera, how to set up the lighting and stuff like that. Very simple things, but they will, trust me, they will help you so much in terms of what you want to do and where you want to go. Now, as this is a basic tutorial, the last bit we're needing to do is, usually I don't do this, but as this is a basic, you need to do the basic facilities, and they are the energy ones. So what we are going to do real quick is, we are going to utilize this area that I've set up to being our backstage area, is where I'm going to put a power generator first of all. This is going to be here, sitting here, and then next to it, I'm going to put a distributor really quickly. If it's going to align to it, that would be nicely. There you go. We've got the distributor, and we're going to connect this to our main station. You've seen the energy is already jumped to on. This is now our area of influence. We may actually need to put certain other things down here to our starting point, and I will actually do this. Therefore, I'm going to select a multi-select tool, select both, and then I'm going to copy them real quick. As soon as I've confirmed the grouping, I'm gonna hit Control D on my keyboard, and it's giving me the chance to basically do this. Now, we can actually go over here, and it's very hard to tell right now because of the heat map. I'm not sure if I can disable the heat map real quick. Yeah, there you can do this, and then changing the camera real quick to align that to the bottom. I'm gonna put this here to the side actually. Not sure if we need two power outputs though, but I'm going to put this here. And now you can see it's not connected anymore, but you can just double click on one of these distributors, and then you can all the way connect this to this one. That would already be enough, but if we would need more energy, you can also connect this to the power supply. Oops, next to it. I should hit it to make sure it is working. There you go. Now connected that. And the same we need to do for water as well. So we are going to zoom down here, double click on this thing, and then go and check out the menu for the facilities. And we're going to put down a water. There you go. And I'm also going to put down a water supply. But this time around, I'm actually going to say this is going to be somewhere around the pools. I think I'm going to put this one here to the back. And then I'm going to connect this to the main station Here you go. And we can then change this along the way, but the basics are done because again, and as I said, in this game, you need these things to have. And now on the heat map, we can easily check where the water is and where the power is. And also the last thing is the water cleanliness. But as we do not have any pools right now, the cleanliness obviously doesn't appear. All right, so that's it for the basics. So thanks for watching this tutorial. If you need more tutorials, check out the mega tutorial or the individual ones I've also uploaded. In any case, if that was helpful, please consider subscribing to support the channel, and I wish you a wonderful day up until the next one. Bye!